everyone, and welcome to Thorough Newspaper Analysis. Indeed, good morning, everyone. We will be discussing one article which is from The Hindu. So, the title of this article is True Empowerment of the Electricity Consumer. So basically, this talks about the recent rules regarding the rights of consumers for the consumption of electricity that have come up in the previous month of December. So, what are the various facilities which will be available to the electricity consumers in India, and what are the areas wherein we can develop more and focus more for better consumption and for effective consumption of electricity has been discussed in this article. And the second one, we have the news in flash for our prelims exam. If you're also preparing for judicial services examination, you can definitely have a look at the lot of the courses, which is the judiciary test prep course coming from LawSeco. The link to this course is available in the description box below. And from the landing page, you can also download free study material for your own help and preparation. Also, you can have a look at our other courses, which are for CLAT, All India Bar Exam, SEBI, etc. So they are very helpful as well. With this, let's see that what is the multiple choice question from yesterday's discussion. Parakaram Divas is celebrated every year in the memory of. Your options are Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, Vallabhbhai Patel, Dadabhai Naroji, or G.K. Gokhale. You can write down your answer in the comment section below. So this is the descriptive question for the day. Discuss how equitable distribution of resources like electricity is important for overall and inclusive growth of the society at large. So basically, the Electricity Rights of Consumers Rules 2020 were promulgated in December 2020 after 2 years since the declaration of universal electrification. So basically, by universal electrification, we mean that every individual of the society, so whoever, be irrespective of the fact that he is rich or poor, whether he lives in an urban area or a rural area, so irrespective of that, everybody would be given this right, universal right of electrification. So this is almost like, when we talk about the universal basic income or the universal adult franchisee, wherein everybody will be given one kind of right that is at equal level. So everybody will have the same right. So here it would be the right to get electricity in their households and in their homes or wherever they're living, and that would be for everybody equally. So keeping this very goal in mind, the Electricity Rights of Consumers Rule 2020 were promulgated. Now, as you can see, that the very name of the rules is very consumer centric, because it talks about that how the rights of consumers can be reinforced and they can be made they can be strengthened through these rules. Now let's understand that what are the basic concerns which are related to power supply, specifically if we talk about in the Indian scenario. So firstly, there is issue of supply quality. Now, how many states fail to provide quality supply to rural and small electricity consumers. So as we know that because when we are in the urban areas, we're in the capital cities, then hardly do we face any problem regarding the electricity supply. But as and when we move towards the rural areas, either electricity is available for shorter periods of time in the whole day, and unfortunately there are also various villages in India, even in the current date, that have no electricity at all. So can you imagine that you and I, who are all functioning and so much dependent on electricity for everything, for our internet, for various kinds of functions, businesses, etc., they all run on electricity. And there are also people and some parts of our country that have no facility at all of the electricity, and some are that they have some facility but still it is highly interrupted. So that is why this shortfall is there in many states, where they fail to provide quality supply to rural and small electricity consumers. So basically, these rules provide for national minimum standards for calculating performance of the electricity distribution companies. So basically, these rules, which have been promulgated in 2020, they provide that there will be a proper calculating, a standard, or a set level of calculating performance of the electricity distribution companies, to which in short form also called as the discoms. So if at all, recently we were also discussing a few days back about the efficient consumption of electricity. In that also it was said that these distribution companies or the discoms should be given a set pro forma, or they should be given a standard of quality delivery. And if they're not able to achieve this quality, or they're not able to give this level of particular level of service, then also they should be seeing some repercussions or kinds of penalties. So similar provision is provided in these rules as well. But this actually fails to distinguish urban and rural areas. Now obviously, if we talk about the current situation also, in various aspects, there is a huge divide between the urban and rural areas in our country. So obviously, the standard of quality or the standard of delivery cannot be same for urban and rural, in the respect that when we talk about equals should be treated equally. So basically what we are trying to say here or understand here is that in the rural areas, the problem is severe as compared to the urban areas, where still decent electricity is provided, and for decent hours it is provided, and there is a rarely there are chances that any kind of huge disruption takes place. So that is why the distribution companies should be liable, or they should be responsible or accountable towards the rural areas in a more accountable manner, and that is why they should be given a better standard to be to meet in as regard with the rural areas. Then similar provision already existed in many states in the standard of performance regulations, but still the main problem, even the article also, it says that the major problem in India regarding the electricity or quality of electricity or the consumption, or even the the provision, the providing for electricity, is not that there is any lack of rules or any kind of that there are not no proper rules or promulgations regarding this. Rather, the biggest problem in here is the lack of accountability. So there are rules that already have talked about the consumer centric benefits and all things that the consumers should be made available with. But the distribution companies and the state that are actually responsible for distribution or equitable distribution of electricity, they are not really made accountable towards any authority or even the people, because of which the ultimate disruptions in the entire distribution process happens. Then the lack of accountability, which indeed is the very point which we were discussing. So neither the rules nor the past efforts address accountability concerns. Then the guarantee of round the clock was already provided, it's provided in 2020 rules, is missing in the state regulations. So in the state regulations that we have for electricity distribution, this very important provision of guarantee of round the clock availability of electricity is absolutely missing, though it is provided in the 2020 rules, but it is missing in the state regulations, which actually ultimately leads states to be less accountable towards the consumers. Then availability of power supply is inadequately monitored. So basically this also is a very big problem, that it is very difficult, or we do not even have an effective mechanism wherein we can check adequately or monitor in a complete in an effective manner as to when the failure of power supply took place, and it is not even recorded properly. So how will we be able to understand that where and when the electricity was not made available, and where should we be working, or what is the scope of our growth and development? So that is why adequate monitoring of power supply also is very important. Then the weak provisions. So the rules in few cases dilute the progressive mechanisms existing in state regulations. So actually, again here the rules have made some provisions which had to be strict, but they have actually diluted these very provisions. So an example of this has been given, that the regulations in Andhra Pradesh, Bihar, and Madhya Pradesh provided faulty meters to be tested in 7 days. But then this has been diluted further to 30 days in the new rules, so which further will actually give the authorities a chance to delay and to act in a lethargic manner. Then the rules provide that the consumer grievance redressal forum to be headed by senior officer of the company. Now this, when we have this very provision, when we say that you cannot be a judge in your own cause, so this is the very same thing, because the very senior officer of this company has been made the head of the redressal forum, consumer grievance redressal forum. So how can we really suppose that this very senior officer of the company will be giving any kind of judgment or any kind of outcome against the very company? So definitely this is something which will not be impartial, or it will not be very much unbiased in nature. And then not forward looking. So the rules guarantee net metering of a solar rooftop unit less than 10 kilowatt, but there is no clarity for those above 10 kilowatt. So basically you don't have to really get into so much of detail, but basically it says that whatever the solar rooftops are there, as we know, many households have solar panels on their rooftop, so it will only be metering it for less than 10 kilowatt. But what if they have it more than 10 kilowatt? So definitely this could lead to confusion among the states, as there can be different interpretations according to different authorities, and it is for possible litigation as well, because definitely if there is any situation of confusion, increased number of litigations can take place, which is detrimental to investments in the rooftop solar units. Now, these are the steps needed in this direction. Direct the state electricity regulation commissions to, firstly, assess standards of performance of discoms and revise regulations more often, definitely. So the discoms, that are the distribution companies, should be given a level or same kind of standards of performance, and they should be revised regularly, and they should be made more accountable. Then ensure automatic metering till 11 kilovolt feeder level and make the data available online. Then the state electricity regulation commissions should organize public processes to help consumers raise their concerns, and definitely because awareness of the consumers is also very important, and only once they know their rights can they fight for them, right? So it is very important that they have a complete platform for the consumers to raise their concerns. Then collect and analyze supply quality data from discoms. So they should be able to properly and effectively collect and analyze the supply quality data as to if or not the distribution companies are supplying the electricity in an effective manner, when has the power failure taken place, so on and so forth. So all the information should be made completely available. Then proactive steps towards regular tariff revision. So that even for the tariff also regular revisions should take place, so that neither the consumers nor the discoms, and even not the state also, none of them goes into any kind of losses. With this, let's see what do we have for news and flash today. Second, India Innovation Index has been given by Niti Aayog. So Karnataka has retained its leadership position, followed by Maharashtra, whereas Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, and Bihar scored the lowest among the major states. So here are the things that led to Karnataka's, such great performance. So it has a substantial number of venture capital deals, registered geographical indications, information and communications technology exports, and high FDI, which is the foreign direct investment. So then Delhi topped among union territories, whereas Himachal Pradesh topped among northeastern hill states. So this is the world most innovative countries are here. We have Switzerland, then we have Sweden, USA, and unfortunately India is nowhere in the top 10 countries. So mostly the Scandinavian countries, the European countries are here on this chart. So this was all for the day. We hope it was a good session for you. And once again, it's a gentle reminder for all of you that now we have preponed the time for this thorough newspaper analysis. So it will be now available to you by 11 or 12 in the morning, and latest by 12 in the morning, basically, so that your newspaper reading becomes a better experience for you all. Thank you so much.